Welcome to the ParcelPedia podcast, the ultimate guide to all things shipping and business services in Frisco, Texas. From U.S. Mail and FedEx to private mailboxes and packing supplies, we've got you covered. Stay tuned for a special discount code to save on your next order. And now, delivering expert tips and insider insights with a smile, here's your host, James Banks, owner of ParcelPedia.
Shipping to a military base isn't the same as sending a regular package. We break down the easiest and most reliable way to get your package to service members without delays. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host / producer, back in the studio with owner of ParcelPedia, James Banks. James, how's it going today?
Hey, Sophia, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am also doing very well, and that's great to hear, James. So, everyone wants to know, can ParcelPedia ship to military bases? And if they can, what's the best way?
So, yes, to answer it straight up, 100%, we can definitely send to military bases. And I will definitely break down a few different ways you can send it. So, just to kind of clear the air, so a military base is one of three. It's either going to be an APO, an FPO, or a DPO. And that's just Army, Fleet, or Diplomatic Post Office. And because they are our United States military post office boxes, they are part of the United States Postal Service. So, with that being said, you are limited to USPS services or United States Postal Service offers. You do have multiple tiers of shipping within that carrier. So, you have your ground shipping, you have your priority mail shipping, which is going to be a little bit faster, a little bit safer, and then you have your priority mail express, which is the absolute fastest and absolute safest. With those three options, it would just depend on the nature of your shipment. If you're in a big hurry, obviously you go for the faster option. If it's something that can take time, just in the care package, some dry snacks, food items, things of that nature, then I would say ground is just fine. It's funny because a lot of times when people look at USPS ground on the domestic side, just shipping to friends or doing a return, sometimes there can be delays and you hear in the news about the post office, this and that. One thing that I have seen over the past decade is that they do such a phenomenal job getting packages to our service members, to these APOs, FPOs, and DPOs. So definitely whatever service you use, you can feel confident. I have a long track record of sending packages to these boxes and them getting them just fine, successfully, safely. So you have your options. We'll break them all down for you depending on what you need to do. 100% you can send to your loved ones on a military base, no matter what country they're at.
Wow. So, James, what's the most common mistake people make when shipping to military bases? I'm sure there's a few.
Yes. So when people are, especially when they get into kind of, I guess, a familiar routine of sending care packages to their loved ones or friends or whoever it may be that you're sending to in a military base, a lot of times because you get so used to using the post office and maybe even using their post office boxes, you tend to just start packing what you think, oh, this will be good. He'll like this. She'll like this. And you just send it off. However, because it is still technically going overseas, it is still subject to the same restrictions and prohibitions that certain countries offer. So that's why it's always best to just let us know what's in the package. It's something that you're going to come across anyway. So even though you're going through United States Post Office and it feels like you're doing a domestic shipment, you'll still go through the motions of an international shipment. So once you get ready to ship, you'll still be asked the same questions. What's in the box? What's the value? What's the quantity? For what reason are you sending this package? Again, it'll get there. I can tell you with confidence it'll get there. But this is where you can get out the items that can't go. So I know we've talked in previous sessions and previous videos about perfumes and colognes. They are one of the most, I feel like, popular items that get restricted because it's just something you're like, oh yeah, he likes his scent, or a small little travel size perfume. Why not throw it in there? It's just like a little box filler, but they are considered a flammable liquid and they are not allowed on any international shipment. So that's one thing that unfortunately gets restricted a lot. And that's one mistake that people make because it just doesn't seem like it would really cause any issues. Just a small little thing of perfume or cologne, but any amount is too big or too much, I should say. And then lithium ion batteries is another thing. So they can be sent, but they have to be documented very carefully. And depending on the APO, FPO, or DPO, some are completely prohibited and some are allowed with restrictive shipping. So again, don't rack your brain about how am I going to know? We'll know. We're the brain in the whole plan. All you have to do is just bring the items that you want. We'll let you know, like, hey, we can send almost everything in this box, But unfortunately, this one item just unfortunately can't go. And we're sure that's not going to keep you from sending the whole box. So they still want to get their stuff. So don't feel, overburdened by all the requirements or paperwork that goes into it. We handle all of that for you to make it easy. And you just come in, give us an address, we'll let you know where it can go, and we'll ship it out.
So, James, you mentioned lithium batteries. Is that a common shipment item that many people just for fun like to send over?
Yes, so it's not the batteries themselves. So I guess I should specify. People aren't just packing just straight batteries into their boxes. Lithium ion batteries they've kind of become super prevalent, ubiquitous almost. The lithium ion batteries, if look at my ears, I'm wearing AirPods, right? These contain lithium ion batteries. Anything that you can plug into a USB charger and recharge it, 99.9% is a lithium ion battery. And it's just the nature of the batteries. When they get pressurized, they become volatile. So they need to know what's in the box. So again, some places can accept them, some just cannot. But we'll let you know which ones can or cannot. So that way you don't waste time sending something that's going to get sent back to you.
Now, for our listeners here today, off the top of your head, do you know some of the places that can and cannot allow the batteries to be sent?
What I do is I search it by the PO number, because a lot of times, which, again, these are our service members, and sometimes our service members are in very, how should I say, they're in locations that we, the common civilians, are not allowed to know. So even though we're sending to these boxes, a lot of times even the customer, they're sending to their son, their spouse, their cousin, friend, they don't even know where they are. They're like, yeah, they can't tell me. I just know that they're overseas somewhere, but I don't even know where they're at. And so what I have to do is use the PO box number to research it and figure out what's allowed. So it doesn't really actually tell me the country. It just lets me know if it can be taken or not. And it's just, of course, to protect our service members that are, maybe in the line of duty or in active duty, and we should want to make sure that everyone stays safe. So.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely an important factor.
Oh, yes.
So, James, how can the senders track their packages once they've been shipped to a military base? There has to be a special protocol.
So, again, that's one thing. People like to rag on our USPS, but I'll give them credit where credit is due. You can use the regular USPS tracking system, just like you would track a package coming for you from a store, or track a return that you sent out. USPS.com, tracking, and input your number, and it reports just the same as shipping from Texas to Florida or California to New York. It'll ship it. Now, of course, it's not going to tell you where it lands if it's one of those boxes where you're not supposed to know, but it will show delivered to box. And so you'll know that they got it. And of course, you keep in communication with the recipient. They'll always let you know that they received it. As our service members are typically pretty happy to get some goodies from family members stateside.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And now that address that it shows, because you said, it's a secret address,
Yes.
when they send over the shipment and they're tracking the shipment, if it got to the recipient, does it show a code or like letters X'd out in the delivery address?
No, it'll basically just show. So that's the thing. The address they have, it's very vague. It's the member, their position, the box number, and then just an APO, FPO, or DPO number. And that's it. That's all.
Oh, okay. So we're talking
yes.
more like Honey Badger 300.
Something of that nature, yes. And so when it's delivered, it just shows delivered at, box 465. So, yeah, you can try to guess where that box is, but chances are you're not going to guess right.
Understood. Well, thanks for taking the time to inform our listeners today, James. We'll catch you in the next episode and have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Same to you.
Thanks for joining us on the ParcelPedia podcast. Don't forget, mention podcast at our store to snag 10% off select shipping services. Stop by at 8992 Preston Road, Suite 110, Frisco, Texas, or give us a ring at 972-335-1450. We're here to make your shipping a breeze. Until next time, keep shipping and smiling.